Like we said before, the subconscious speaks through the body.
Yeah.
So I would ask you, when you are scared of rejection, how do you experience that in your body on a sensation level? What's the feeling in your body, the sensation of like, uh-oh, I'm going to be rejected, or let's say you were rejected. Think of any memory. You don't even have to tell me the memory, but I want you to tell me the sensation in the body. Use any memory as a gateway into that feeling in the body.
Yeah.
And tell me what you notice. So think of a memory when you felt rejected already, really hurt, like, easier the better, so one that really hurt. and be curious about it. We're going to be curious, not judgmental.
Okay. I would definitely say chest, my heart. That's where I would feel. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what's in the chest? What is it a constriction? Is it a knot? Is it a weight?
Definitely constriction, yes.
It's a constriction. So what I would ask you to do now is, do you feel comfortable closing your eyes?
Yes.
Okay, so close your eyes, because when we close our eyes, we go internal and we actually go into our internal world. And take your attention to that chest. So I want you to replay that memory, whatever it was. Feel the constriction in your chest. Can you put your hand on your chest?
Yeah.
Without bothering the mic? So put your hand on your chest, and I want you to take your attention to that constriction in your chest. And I want you to say silently in your head, but to that part of your body. Like take your gaze and your attention to that part of the body and say, thank you for showing up.
Thank you for showing up.
You can say it silently if that connects you better. Thank you for showing up. I'd love to know more. And if this constriction in the chest could speak right now, if it had words, lips, tongue, and a mouth, and actually could speak as if you were inside that constriction, and it could speak words like a phrase of how it feels, what would be the word or phrase it would say? I feel what? First thing.
I feel very hurt.
I feel hurt. Great. So you want to acknowledge that. I want you to take your attention at the same time now to the top of your head, inside your head, not outside your body, but inside, but at the top. And I want you to look down on that chest, that hurt, that constriction, like a bird's eye view. You know, like you're a bird looking down from the top of your head?
Yeah.
So that awareness is our higher self, that awareness, that observer mode. So we want to always be in observer mode and talking to the constriction or the body that is expressing the hurt. So you have two levels here. You have the observer observing, and you have the constriction in your chest feeling constricted. Do you sense those two levels?
The what again?
The observer,
Yes.
top of your head, and it's looking down, kind of just watching, very, very openly just watching, observing. Yes. And there's a constriction in your chest at the same time. So there's two levels. There's the constriction and the observer.
Yes.
That's where we want to be. And I want you to ask this hurt. You can now you can observe it from the top of your head, and you can take your attention to the under your hand. And I want you to ask it, what hurts so much? Tell me what hurts so much. And you're talking to this constriction as if it's like another person. What hurts so much? And just see what pops up in your head straight away.
Okay.
Do you feel comfortable saying?
Just wants to feel love.
Yeah. So I want you to ask it. Say, of course you do. That makes so much sense. Say it silently. Validate it. Say it silently. Of course you do. That makes so much sense. What age is this feeling? If you had to guess an age, ask the constriction. What age are you? Just want to feel loved and I feel hurt. See what number pops up.
5.
5 popped up. So you could ask it, what happened? Where else have I felt this hurt, this fear of rejection and this hurt from being rejected? And all I want is to be loved. Where's another time that you felt that? You might see a memory. It might be at school, it might be at home, some sort of memory where you felt rejected as a kid.
I think at home.
Okay.
Trying to get my attention.
Right. And so where were you? Can you picture yourself where you were at home, what you were doing?
In my bed, in my room.
Yeah. And so I want you to walk into that bed, into that room as the older version of you now. I want you to see yourself now going into that little 5-year-old and walking up to little Ellie and saying, "Hi, Ellie. I'm Ellie from your future. And I want you to know some things that you didn't know." And see if he's open to you. Like, see if he responds visually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want you to walk up to him and say, "I want you to know that I love you and that you are so lovable, and no matter what, you're with me. I'm not going to leave you. You're not alone anymore. And you didn't realize that, but I'm coming back to tell you that I want a better relationship with you, and I want to take care of you, and I want to love you and make sure you always feel loved by me. And we can work on building that together." And see if he's open to that and how that feels.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Is he open, the little boy part?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could say, this feeling where you feel alone and by yourself. Ask him if there's anything he wants to tell you about how he feels. You can have a dialogue in your own head as well, whatever you want to say to each other. You want to give him space to talk to you, tell you how he really feels. And you want to be a loving parent back to him. You're an older, wiser person now. You can even validate his feeling. Yes, it's true that this was what happened, and maybe mom and dad were limited in certain ways, or they were tested or challenged in other ways, and they love you so much, and they love you as much as they can, but sometimes they weren't able to give you everything, and that's okay. Because I'm here now, and I'm going to give you what you need.
Yeah, that resonates.
And you can ask him, and you could say, "Is there anything you want to tell me about how hard it is for you? Because I understand this more than anyone in the whole world." And you could just have an organic conversation, whatever it feels like is right to come up. And then I want you to tell him that this situation he's in, where he's by himself in his room, in bed at night, feeling lonely, feeling unloved, this is over. This happened a long, long time ago, like 21 years ago. And you don't want him to feel this way anymore, and he doesn't need to be stuck here in this situation. So you can say, "I want to bring you back with me so that you can be with me and I can love you." And ask him if he's willing to come back with you to right here, right now, in real time. And he can visit here whenever he wants, but you want him with you so you can love him all the time. Good. Does he say yes? Is he willing to come?
Yeah.
So I want you to pick him up out of the bed. I'm sure he's super cute. And give him a big hug. And I want you to literally see yourself walking out of your old bedroom in the old house where you used to feel this way. This whole feeling of isolation and loneliness and rejection that is represented by this particular scene. If you're feeling feelings, let yourself feel the feelings. They're good feelings, they're healing feelings. And I want you to see yourself leaving the house with this little boy and walking out the front door with him, like you're rescuing him from this feeling from you. You don't have to be here anymore. And you're going to take him out of the house, and you're going to take him outside the front yard and up the street, and you're walking with him, hugging him and holding him. And you can feel the distance as you get further and further away from this scene, from this emotion, from this loneliness, this rejection, this unlovable feeling. You get more and more away as you're together with him. And you get further and further up the road, and you look back. You can see the house very far away. And when you get up the road, I want you to give him a big hug. And I want you to put your own arms around your own arms right now, physically, as if you're giving yourself a hug. And as you do that, you're bringing him right back into this moment with me here and you here. Right here, right now. He's coming back in, and he's melding with you, into you, so you can take care of him and love him. And just see where he melds and where you feel that in the body. So just let me know where you feel it. Where did he join you? Was he in more your chest, your stomach? Chest. So you can put your hand on your chest now, knowing he's in there. And I want you to let him know that you love him. So you can say silently, I love you. You're with me now. You're never going to feel rejected. I'm always going to tune in. I'm always going to check in with you. And when we go on dates, you don't need to come on the date. You're off the hook. You can hide behind me. Yeah, it feels good, huh? Feels really good, really protected. So this is changing your relationship to this wounded part, that it doesn't need to be open anymore to anyone else rejecting you, because you're always going to be there for yourself, and it doesn't even need to come. What's a 5-year-old doing on a date? Doesn't need to be on a date. So you tell the little 5-year-old, you go play. What do you want to play right now? It'll tell you. I want to play, I want to swim, I want to paint, I want to play cars, whatever. It's going to tell you. I want to read a book. You go play, you can hide behind me when I go on a date. I'm going to take care of you. And then you imagine yourself on a date now with this little part really protected. Because there's no chance of that little part getting rejected anymore, because you're there for it. You're the buffer. And when you're ready, you can just let that part know you're going to check in with it later. And you're always there for it. It's just, he's totally lovable. And when you're ready, you can gently bring all of you back into the room. Slowly feel your feet on the ground. 5, take a deep breath. 4, when you're ready. 3, coming back in. 2, in your own time. 1, and opening your eyes.
Wow.
You felt it. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it, that there's a shift in the relationship with yourself.
Definitely.
That's the shift.
I feel it, and when I knew the room was spinning, that's when I knew that I felt it. Because if I was still stuck in something, the room wouldn't be spinning.
It's a shift in consciousness.
100%.
Yeah.
That was like this. It felt like an open heart surgery without.
That's what it is. Yes.
Without anesthesia. You know.
So it's funny because I always call myself, I'm not really a dating coach. I'm more like a dating surgeon, but no one wants surgery.
Right.
So I don't say that.
Oh no! A while ago, I would very much resist this. I would not at all go along with it or not allow it.
I was very impressed. Men usually don't like to do that, and so I only went there because I felt you would go there.
Thank you. Well. The truth is that it's extremely painful, but it's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. As much, I used to hate this kind of work. Don't take me to my inner child. I don't believe in it. But that's the only thing that's wounded in us.
Right. Not just that, but when you go back and rescue and be there for it, it will no longer hijack your dating. It will no longer hijack your business. It will no longer hijack anything.
Right.
Because you're protecting it.
It's validated, yeah.
It's validated and it's buffered.
Wow.
We can edit this out. You might want to edit out or make a short version because it's long. It's long.
I don't know.
I wanted
really
to do it for you. I wanted to go there for you. You know.
That was really everything I needed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you have to tune in now to that regularly. Put your hand on your chest and talk to that little 5-year-old.
Right.
And say, I'm with you. You're safe.
Yeah,
I love
because I
you.
made that commitment.
Yeah, and I love you. And what do you need from me today? And sometimes it will tell you it needs different things. Literally.
Wow.
And really what we just did was work with your subconscious. Like that was a part of your subconscious that needed your conscious attention. And we created a connection between your conscious mind and your subconscious that was expressing through that wound.
Right. Right.
And you see it's very fast. People to go to therapy for months and months and months. You just don't need to. I teach my women how to do this within 9 weeks for themselves so they can just do it for themselves and process themselves. Now, it is simplified. A lot of therapists would cringe maybe watching this because it's too simple, but I do find that the simplified version works enough to get people out of their rut, out of their shift. And if they need some more specialized therapy, they should go right to different therapists and somatic experiencing, IFS, internal family systems. There's many different modalities. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like I happen to think that this works for me because I don't feel like I have a specific deep story. I was just a kid that was constantly craving attention.
Right.
And attention, and that's because that's who I am. That's what I love.
Right.
And that's my gap. It's something that my parents were very good parents. I still
Right.
love them or
Right.
whatever. But I'm saying, like, it was very, very difficult for them to give me that amount of attention.
It might not have even been possible.
Yeah.
Meaning, but it's still, your need was valid and their needs to juggle whatever they were juggling
Right.
were valid. But it doesn't mean you don't have the impact or the wound or the hole.
Right.
However, you have to fill that hole up for yourself now.
Right. Yeah, and I also know that I was like, it's not a long time, but I was the only child for 5 years. So it's not a long time, but those few
Right.
years, that meant that the only attention that I got was from parents.
Right.
So whatever they gave me is great. Whatever they didn't there's a gap to fill.
And that's part of your tikkun.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
part of the tikkun, what you're here to do.